All right, we're on Diary 59, Dear Diary. So I'm going to tell you about the crazy mess I got myself into a couple days ago. It all started about a month ago when I was assigned to read The Catcher in the Rye. Remember, if you're talking, you're reading. I took one good look at the plain white cover and set it on my desk where I managed to collect dust. I thought to myself, what can this book teach me? I really wasn't up into reading this book, but somehow I managed to pick it up. Like usual, I read the ending first. After taking a look at the type of vocabulary J.D. Salinger uses, I was hooked. I thought, hey, this is my type of book. I instantly developed respect for the author because of his unique style of writing. Not to mention the fact that he didn't throw in some stupid preachy message, an attempt to save today's youth. Those sugar and spice and everything nice type of endings make me want to barf. Well, I read the whole GD book. I cannot say that word. I'm sorry. The GD. I just cannot say it. I just have a really hard time saying it. I was surprised how much I was able to relate to the main character, Holden. When Miss Grell was trying to hype the book, she mentioned that our class was full of Holdens. Now I know what she meant. Like Holden, I think that everyone around me seems phony. I go to school with a bunch of conformists. Everywhere I look, I see duplicates of the so-called perfect pattern. The teachers are the operators running the mind control factory. As for my parents, boy, do they think my every move is a deliberate plan to irritate them. My parents speak to me like I'm a child too wet behind the ears to know anything about life. I felt the need to escape. I was fed up with all the rules forced upon me. I didn't want to play their crummy old games. So this is where my journey of breaking loose from the system began. Well, my attempt anyhow. One night, a couple of girlfriends and I were sitting around watching TV and talking, girl stuff. Then the phone rang. It was my mother. She just called to see what time I'd be home. I swear she's a damn detective, always tracking me down. I told her I would be home in an hour, and that was all. That was that. Well, an hour passed, and I surely didn't feel like going home. So instead of heading home, my friends and I decided to take a drive to the beach. I don't know how, but somehow my friend's house, and between my friend's house and the beach, we ended up in Las Vegas. I guess I have taken a wrong turn somewhere? No, I'm just kidding. That was the explanation I gave my mother. Unfortunately, she didn't buy it. And the truth is, my best friend had never been in Las Vegas, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. We arrived in Vegas to witness the sunrise from behind the casinos. Once in Vegas, we cruised around taking pictures and more pictures and even more pictures, and that's pretty much it. It's not like I could go gambling. I'm only 16. Soon after that, I decided to call home. I was bored, and besides, I had been gone all night. I figured my mom would be a bit angry. Okay, so she was furious and even threatened to call the Las Vegas police and report my friend's license plate number. Well, that totally ruined our road trip. After that heart-to-heart talk with dear old mom, we decided to try something we hadn't the night before. Following an exquisite breakfast at one of Las Vegas's 5-star restaurants, Burger King, we headed home. Unlike Holden, I was spared from the institution, even though I provoked her by pleading, send me anywhere, somewhere, a rehab of some sort, anywhere that isn't here. But there is nothing wrong with you, she insisted. And then I said, I just need to get away. I'm fed up with everything, everyone. The farthest she sent me was to my gosh dang room. I don't know why I can't say that word. I guess I just have a hard time using, saying God in vain. I just have a hard time with it. I know, I can cuss, but I can't.
You should let me
go figure. No, I'm okay. I'm good. Dear Diary, tonight the wildest thing happened. I got offered a job from John too. I can't believe I'll be working for a millionaire. How I got the job was crazy. We were having a big party that Brune done with all of our parents. Miss G's really into family, and we're always having parties where all of our families get together and have a big love fest. Her dad, her stepmom, her brothers are practically part of our family now. This party was another opportunity for our families to meet John too and thank him for all of his help. After the party was over, I asked him if he wanted to ride where his car was parked. It was only about 5 blocks away, but I didn't want him to have to walk late at night with his wife and his 2 kids in our neighborhood. With him being a millionaire and all, I was afraid he was going to get jacked. When I offered him a ride, I didn't think he'd actually say yes. When he did, I was like, damn, I froze because I have a 78 Oldsmobile, which can't touch his top-of-the-line Mercedes. When he entered my car, I felt really embarrassed because my car only has 1 seat in the front. The passenger seat was stolen. There's just a big old gap in the front. I didn't even have a radio or a rear view mirror. My front window has a big ass crack on it too. Since it gets me from point A to point B, that's all that matters. When John got into my car, he said, "Damn, this is comfortable. It feels like a limousine." He stretched out on my upholstery. My back seat is a far cry from leather, but he crossed his legs as if he owned my bucket. Then he said he wished that when he was my age, he would have driven a car like this one, but instead he drove a bicycle. Wow. He hadn't always been a millionaire like I thought. He actually earned his money through hard work. That really got to me. It was as if he was telling me not to just stay on my level and drive a $200 bucket when I could shoot for driving a Mercedes. When we reached his car, not only did he say thank you, but he also asked if I was interested in a job at his computer company. A job? I'd never had a job before. He said I would learn something new, and now I can't wait to begin my new career and turn my life into a different direction. Could you imagine getting a job like that?
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
I don't like computers.
I love the imagery he creates, right? His little hoopty. Why did you do that? His little hoopty ride with the front seat missing. Do you love that? Okay. Diary 61, Dear Diary. In class today, we discussed how double standards exist for men and women. We talked about how men can get away with whatever they want, but when a female does the same thing, then she gets degraded and even dissed. Miss G introduced a word called misogyny, and everyone in the class was like, "What?" A guy in the corner even said, "Misogyny? Did you say massage my pee-pee?" and started laughing. Miss Gurrell structured a debate called Misogyny or Mayhem. She started by having us analyze the cover of a Snoop Doggy Dogg video album with cartoon characters representing a male and a female dog. The male dog is on top of the dog house, and the female dog is in the bottom with her ass hanging out. Throughout the cartoon, the female dog is called a hoochie and a hoe, and they even kick her out of the doghouse in the last illustration. All of the girls felt like this cartoon showed how men think they're on top of everything. I think it's about time men start respecting women instead of degrading women to the point where it's unbearable. I don't know why women allow men to brainwash them, use their bodies as objects instead of cherishing them as if they were treasures. But it's never going to change until women start respecting themselves more. If you were looking for someone to give you an example of misogyny, my family would be a prime illustration. My male cousins were advised, "Make sure you put a hat on that, Jimmy, and get as many girls as possible." Because I'm the only girl in my family, the only advice I was given was to keep my legs closed. Therefore, when I lost my virginity, it was the end of the world. My boyfriend and I had been together for 2 years before we decided to have sex. Then when it came time for what was supposed to be my special moment, I thought there would be caressing and passionate kisses. Instead, it was a 5-minute bang, bang, bang. I looked at him when we were finished and asked him, "Is that it?" I thought losing my virginity was something that it would be worthwhile. Instead, it's something I now regret. Now I'm not a virgin, and everyone looks at me as though I'm a tramp or a hoe. Of course, if I were a male, I would be congratulated. I wish that things were different, but they aren't. Is it that way today?
Yes. Not really.
This is a predominantly male class. Is it that way today? Do you girls feel that it is? Do you guys feel it is?
Wait, is it what?
Yeah.
The what?
Misogyny. Okay, misogyny. The idea that there's a double standard. Boys are told to go and be conquering, and girls are told keep it closed.
I don't know. I think it's like starting to change a little.
I think it's the other way around.
I think it's starting to change.
Hey, men don't care no more. If the woman wants to run the house, they just sit there and watch TV.
That's not what I'm talking about.
What did they say?
Men don't care anymore. If a woman wants to run the house, they just sit back and watch TV.
That's the truth.
No, you have to start, but that's not what I'm
Shut
talking
up. Your life is retarded.
So, do you think that it's that way? The girls all said yes.
Of course they're gonna say yes.
They do think it's that way. Is it, boys?
Nah, they wrong.
I don't mind if I have a wife and she wants to get a job and do that stuff. Well, then I'm not just gonna sit there. I'll do something. But
I think we should both be equal to the things.
Yeah.
Hold on.
They're just saying that because there's always a chance.
Yeah, like both do something.
I'm not gonna be like my
like
father.
she don't want to do nothing. Like be a housewife.
Me neither.
That's too.
I know my dad, but he's very.
So you'd let her basically do what she decided to do, and you'd support her all the way.
Happy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She feels comfortable with whatever.
But do you feel like if a girl, well, what she was talking about here was the idea of having sex, okay? You're looking at a girl who is a peer, and you're looking at somebody. I mean, let's get real. We're in high school in year 2017, and we have up to this point, if a girl starts having sex, is she considered a prostitute or a hoe? And is a boy considered a champ and go get him boy, like an all around good boy?
No. If it's one girl, if it's one girl with a bunch of men, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You can't call no female a hoe if they not cut. If you're not gonna go straight to their face and tell them how it's gonna be, and y'all gonna be together, then you can't call them a hoe.
Yeah. You're right.
And if
Yeah.
she's not gonna come to me and tell me how it's gonna be, if she's not gonna come to me and tell me how it's gonna be, then I'm gonna have my freedom. But until somebody real come up to me and tell me how it's gonna be,
It also depends if it's just like with multiple men or it's just one guy, like one dude that she's talking
But like
to.
if it was with y'all and y'all was with multiple females, it would be different.
Of course.
Exactly. Y'all can go do whatever y'all want with however many females.
Nah, see, that's how everybody thinks it is, but to me, that's just a guy being a hoe too. So
I believe it, Miss Arnie. I believe it.
I believe there's a guy being a hoe too, if like you
Yeah,
over here
I believe
like.
there's a man
with,
hoe,
like,
and I
multiple
believe
women.
if there's a situation that involves the other sex being around with a lot of men, then that's the situation.
Yeah, see, a guy could be a hoe too.
Just look
Not
at
just
it.
women. Wait, what?
No, this is interesting. I want to hear more. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. It's interesting. It's serious.
That's just how it is.
you just can't call female a hoe, and you can't. I mean,
It's not considered that way
You
anymore.
can't call a female a hoe if you've been hoeing around.
that's what
But they do it
Oh.
anyway, so
Huh?
they do it anyways. They don't care about their feelings. Interesting.
But see, that's the thing too. They can't talk if they don't know anything about them.
But they still do it. But that's
Hey.
the problem.
Do you think girls are more judgmental of other girls?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah.
girls.
I think the judgment actually today in today's time.
I'll be hearing stuff like like a group of girls be right here and one girl right there, the whole group don't like the girl. She out.
Yeah. Me.
Her makeup is Jimmy. Your foundation is on.
Yeah, my buckets is
Yeah,
in.
I like her. All that. I'll be hearing the roast when I be walking around.
You better
Have like a
kiss
group
and
over
say
here
bye.
and then a girl walk by.
I love that the boys are able to voice. Did you guys know this?
What?
Did you guys know this? The girls didn't. I don't think you guys knew this, did
Do
you?
what?
Do you guys pay attention to what you guys are all saying to each other?
Yeah.
You just tend to be like, I'm not gonna say anything about it because I don't want to get chewed out. See, yeah, that's what Haley just said.
But there is different type of boys though. Like there's the ones that like they always just do it.
There's the one girl that says I better shut up or I get killed.
I'd be quiet.
That's me.